Zhengzhou hits 44 degrees C. Shijiazhuang residents seek refuge in air raid shelters. A catastrophic heat wave with oppressive humidity has engulfed North China, pushing temperatures beyond 40 degrees C in many areas. Zhengzhou, Henan is forecast to reach a staggering 44 degrees C, while residents of Shijiazhuang, Hebei, are forced to seek shelter in air raid bunkers to escape the deadly heat. According to Chinese media reports starting July 12th, a widespread and suffocating heat wave has gripped the nation. From July 11 to 17, temperatures in northwest China. North China and the Huanghui region are expected to soar, with southern regions also facing intensifying heat from July 13th. High humidity creates a sauna-like atmosphere, making conditions unbearable. The peak of this heat wave from July 14th to 16 will bring scorching temperatures above 40 degrees to Shanxi, Hebei, Henan, Shandong, Anhui, Hubei, Hunan, Sichuan, and Chongqing. Zhengzhou, Henan's capital, is projected to endure 4 consecutive days above 40 degrees C, with July 15th potentially hitting 44 degrees C, an almost unprecedented extreme. Even nighttime offers no relief, with lows at 33 degrees C, leaving residents sweltering around the clock. Southern Hebei, Henan, Shanxi's Guangdong region, and western Hubei are the epicenters of this prolonged and intense heat, where temperatures frequently exceed 40 degrees C, posing severe risks to life and health. In Shijiazhuang, Hebei, starting July 1st, authorities opened 7 civil defense shelters covering over 300 square meters for residents to seek refuge from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. over 2 months. Yet these measures seem inadequate against the relentless heat. According to Beijing News, northern China's climate appears to have swapped with the south. Beijing is experiencing southern-style humidity, with water droplets forming in subway passages. Parts of northeast China issued orange heat warnings with midday conditions on July 10th, rivaling the heat of Shanghai or Wuhan. Since the start of 2025 up to July 8th, 147 national weather stations across China recorded extreme heat, with 13 breaking historical records, primarily in Jiangsu, Shandong, Hunan, Anhui, and Yunnan. In May, a 3-day heat wave saw 21 stations record extreme temperatures, including 42.9 degrees C in Shahe, Hebei, and 43.2 degrees C in Linzhou, Henan. Even traditionally cooler areas like Chengde endured 3 consecutive days of heat, while Arctic Village and Mohe in Heilongjiang hit over 35 degrees C in late June. Chinese meteorologists note that the subtropical high-pressure system typically affecting Beijing, Tianjin, and Hebei in late July or early August shifted north earlier this year, bringing midsummer heat ahead of schedule. Dahe Daily reports that 44 degrees C is a near-mythical figure in meteorological history. One of the most infamous heat waves occurred during the Qianlong era of the Qing dynasty in 1743. According to China's 3,000-year meteorological records, the summer of Qianlong's 8th year was the hottest since the Ming dynasty, with Qing Gaozong records describing it as oppressively humid and hotter than any year before. A French missionary in Beijing, Song Junrong, wrote to colleagues at the Paris Academy of Sciences exclaiming, "Beijing's elders say they've never seen such heat." His alcohol thermometer recorded temperatures above 40 degrees C from July 2025, 1743, peaking at 44.4 degrees C on July 25, the highest recorded in Beijing's history. His report detailed the heat wave's devastation from July 14 to 25. Approximately 11,400 people in Beijing and its suburbs perished, mostly the poor artisans and laborers. Hebei's Gaoyi County Annals recorded that from July 19 to 26, 1743, the heat was so intense that shaded walls felt like they were scorched with lead and tin melting at midday, and many dying from the heat. Beijing's conditions were even worse than surrounding areas. Shaanxi's Fushan County Annals noted that merchants from other provinces died in the capital. The elite fled to escape the heat, while many residents attempted to reach Hebei's Rehe or Shengjing, but perished en route. China stands at a breaking point, battered by an unrelenting onslaught of catastrophic weather, societal collapse, and concealed crises. From asphalt melting into rivers of tar in Guangzhou, to freakish July blizzards burying Gansu's grasslands, from electric vehicles erupting into fireballs in the scorching heat, to desperate pleas for help erased from the internet. The nation is trapped in a maelstrom of natural disasters, public outrage, and systemic cover-ups by the Chinese Communist Party, CCP. In ancient Chinese belief, such chaotic weather signals more than nature's wrath. It heralds a cosmic rupture, a warning that the ruling regime teeters on the edge of ruin. In this urgent broadcast, we peel back the layers of deception to reveal the harrowing reality faced by millions of Chinese citizens. Like, subscribe, and brace yourself as we expose the truth behind this unfolding nightmare. A nation burning unprecedented heatwave carnage. China is being consumed by a heatwave of apocalyptic proportions, with temperatures soaring past 40 degrees in multiple regions and reaching a staggering 43 degrees in Sichuan and Hunan. On July 5th, Weihai City in Shandong recorded a historic 42.4 degrees C, leaving festival-goers collapsing in droves from heat stroke as ambulances raced through chaotic streets. Firefighters sprayed water to cool desperate crowds, but the heat remained merciless. In Guangzhou, roads buckled and shattered under thermal expansion, transforming streets into jagged lunar-like wastelands. A viral Douyin video captured the surreal. A man in Hunan placed a pan on sun-scorched pavement, poured oil, cracked an egg, and watched it sizzle to perfection in minutes. Ground temperatures in Hunan hit a lethal 74.1 degrees C on June 24th, hot enough, as one local paper grimly noted, to fry an ant in seconds. But the heat's toll goes far beyond quirky experiments. In Shenzhen, a YouTube video showed an electric vehicle bursting into flames at 38 degrees, its lithium-ion battery succumbing to the heat and exploding in the street, sending pedestrians fleeing in terror. Reports confirm at least 3 such explosions in Guangdong this July, fueling fears that extreme weather is turning technology into ticking time bombs. "I'm afraid to drive my electric car. It could become a fireball any moment," one driver posted on WeChat before the message vanished. A deadly summer heat wave and debt devastate lives. The heat wave has turned China's summer into a lethal inferno, claiming countless lives and plunging millions into financial ruin. Roads baked at over 60 degrees have left people collapsing in the streets. In Changsha, Hunan, the 120 emergency hotline dispatched ambulances 105 times in a single week for heat stroke cases, with 5 victims rushed to the ICU at the Hospital of Traditional Chinese Medicine. In Shenzhen, 122 people sought emergency care for heat stroke, over 30 days, 9 hovering near death, mostly construction workers and outdoor laborers. Doctors warn that without cooling within 6 hours, the risk of multi-organ failure surges to 83%, with a 70% mortality rate. For every 0.5 degrees C rise in body temperature, the chance of death triples, disproportionately striking young and middle-aged adults. The heat has also exposed heartbreaking tragedies. At Nanchang University in Yantai, students sweltered in unair-conditioned dorms, relying on fans that merely circulated hot air. One student fainted in class, and a beloved dormitory manager known for rescuing stray cats succumbed to heat stroke. Furious students laid flowers in her memory and protested for accountability, but the university deflected blame to an outsourced contractor who denied responsibility. The school's budget is 29.7 billion yuan, yet they can't afford a single air conditioner. One student raged on X before their account was locked. In Linyi, Shandong, unverified reports claim hundreds of heat-related deaths, with crematoriums overwhelmed, processing over 160 bodies in 48 hours. The crematorium near my home had a waiting list up to number 90 by noon, a Hebei resident shared. Netizens accused authorities of underreporting temperatures, listing 38 to 39 degrees C, when the reality felt like being roasted alive. The heat wave compounds an escalating debt crisis. Official figures reveal 920 million Chinese are drowning in debt, with 450 million unable to repay. A 37-year-old single mother in Tangshan shared, "I owe 1.8 million yuan after my business failed. My bank account is frozen and I borrow from neighbors just to keep the lights on." A 25-year-old in Yunnan lamented, "I owe 400,000 yuan for my father's loan. My salary disappears instantly. I can't afford decent food or clothes, but the debt is suffocating." In Yunnan, a young woman rode 7 hours in 40 degrees Celsius heat to rescue her abandoned dog, which suffered severe burns. Social media is flooded with stories of despair as the heat and debt strangle hope. Water and power collapse. A nation in darkness. The heat wave has triggered cascading water and power shortages. Sichuan and Yunnan, China's hydropower giants, are crippled as rivers and lakes dry up. Sichuan producing over 20% of the nation's hydropower, and Yunnan, home to 6 of China's largest hydropower plants, are operating at a fraction of capacity after water levels dropped 60% from last year. The Baihetan Dam, the world's largest, is nearly paralyzed. Yunnan's government sparked outrage by urging residents to bathe only 3 to 4 times a month to conserve water. "They're treating us like we're in a war zone." They created one resident fumed. In Shenzhen, where homes cost 8 to 10 million yuan per square meter, power outages lasting over 6 hours in 36 degrees C heat have left residents desperate. "I poured water on the ground and it vanished in seconds." One recounted. In Guangxi, a once-in-a-millennium drought has left 83,000 people without drinking water, forcing reliance on contaminated rivers, fire trucks, water trees. But as one resident said, "It's a Band-Aid. We're dying of thirst." Freak weather and agricultural collapse. Beyond the heat, China is reeling from bizarre weather anomalies. In Gansu, a July snowstorm blanketed grasslands, piling snow to half a wheel's height. "Yesterday we burned. Today our tents are buried, and a foal froze to death," a herder recounted. In Xinjiang, sandstorms and tornadoes reduced highway visibility to 0 flipping motorcycles. Beijing saw level 13 gusts, the strongest in a decade, toppling billboards and over 200 trees. In Guizhou, egg-sized hailstones obliterated roofs and crops, leaving farmers weeping. "Our entire harvest is gone," one said. In Jiangsu, corona-shaped hail shattered windshields and injured residents. These events echo ancient tales like that of Drought, whose wrongful execution brought June snow as a sign of cosmic imbalance. "The heavens are furious," one ex-user wrote before their post was deleted. Agriculture is in ruins. In Guangxi, lotus carp in rice paddies died en masse in overheated water, while rice rotted. A Sichuan pig farm lost 5,000 pigs during a blackout-induced ventilation failure, incurring losses over 10 million yuan. In Jiangxi, floods turned fields into lakes with damages estimated at 10 billion yuan, affecting 290,000 people. "Hail destroyed our crops. We have nothing left," a Guizhou farmer cried. Xi Jinping's deforestation for rice policy, aimed at food security amid potential Taiwan Strait tensions, has worsened the crisis by clearing forests for farming on sloped land, causing erosion and flooding. Farmers are forced to plant rice on arid soil to meet quotas only to abandon dying crops. "They make us destroy the land and our lives for nothing," a Yunnan farmer raged. Social unrest. A nation on edge. The heat and disasters have ignited widespread unrest. At Yantai University, students launched an air conditioning revolution, hanging banners demanding, "Where's our tuition money? We need AC to survive." At Jingzhou Technical College, a student's heatstroke death sparked parental protests for compensation, but the school evaded responsibility. In Guangxi, residents accused authorities of worsening floods by releasing dam water without warning. "They drowned our homes without a word," one resident fumed. In Hunan, Brother 800, named for an 800 yuan traffic fine, live-streamed his defiance after police beatings, decrying systemic injustice. His viral video sparked the 800 movement before being censored, symbolizing public fury at the CCP's negligence. CCP's cover-up's truth buried under censorship. The CCP has resorted to ruthless censorship to control the narrative. Posts about deaths, damages, or unrest on WeChat and Douyin vanish instantly. They pull bodies from the mud, but the news stays silent. A Guizhou resident whispered on X. Vice Premier Zhang Guoqing, tasked with disaster response, visited industrial zones instead of flood-hit areas. They're too busy with power games to save lives, commentator Li Ling told The Times. Rumors of Xi Jinping's weakening grip swirl, with Central Military Commission Vice Chairman Zhang Yuxia reportedly gaining influence. The mysterious 2023 death of former Premier Li Keqiang fuels suspicions of foul play. The crisis of 1 million missing persons annually, including 200,000 children, raises fears of organ harvesting. Not a fly escapes their cameras yet. Thousands disappear. One netizen raged. The U.S. House's H.R. 1540 bill, targeting organ harvesting from Falun Gong practitioners, has amplified global concern. A nation on the brink. China faces a perfect storm, blistering heat, relentless disasters, water and power shortages, agricultural devastation, and erupting unrest. From exploding vehicles in Shenzhen to July snow in Gansu, from fake fields planted to appease misguided policies to silenced cries for help, the nation is spiraling into chaos. The CCP may suppress the truth, but it cannot hide the heavens' wrath or the people's fury. Is this the omen of a regime's collapse? Share this story, demand accountability, and join us in exposing China's hidden crisis. China's hidden crisis.